Lesson 11.1, Inference about two population proportions for independent samples. For Chapter 9 and Chapter 10, we talked about one population, and in Chapters 11 and 12, we will talk about two populations. The objectives for this lesson is to be able to distinguish between independent and dependent sampling, test hypotheses regarding two population proportions from independent samples, construct and interpret confidence intervals for the difference between two population proportions, and determine the sample size necessary for estimating the difference between two population proportions. Let's take a look at the overview sheet. We are working on this lesson for two population proportions, so that is a qualitative data proportions and two that are independent. So for this lesson, we should be able to fill in this area right here. So let's first start off by figuring out what it means when it says that a sampling method is independent. This is when the individuals for one sample do not dictate which individuals are to be in the second sample. And then what does it mean to say that a sampling method is dependent? This is when the individuals selected to be in one sample are used to determine the individuals in the second sample. Dependent is for when there's matched pairs samples, and you can be matched against yourself. To say we're testing a dominant hand versus our non-dominant hand, we did a random sample to determine if we will use our dominant or non-dominant hand first, and then trial it on our remaining hand. That would be dependent because it would be a matched pairs, and the first pick will determine the second. So if we choose to pick my dominant hand first, then I have to trial my non-dominant hand following that. Let's look at some examples. I would like you to try and figure out number 1 and 2 on your own, and then play the video when you're done. Determine and explain whether the following are independent or dependent. Which medicine is better to treat acne, medicine A or B? To answer this question, researchers applied medication A to one part of a subject's face and medication B to a different part of a subject's face to determine the proportion of subjects whose acne cleared up with each medication. The part of the face that received medication A was randomly determined by flipping a coin. The medication B was applied to the other side of the face. Repeat this process for as many patients that we have in the study. So, would this be independent or dependent? This is dependent because medicine B application depends on where medicine A is applied. Right here we have a matched pairs sample. And again, it can be against yourself, so we have the left face versus the right face. Number 2, do individuals who make fast food purchases with a credit card tend to spend more than those who pay with cash? A marketing manager randomly selects 30 credit card receipts and 30 cash receipts to determine if the credit card receipts have a significantly higher dollar amount on average. This is going to be independent because credit card receipts are not related to cash receipts, and vice versa. We have some more practice. Decide whether the sampling method is independent or dependent, and then determine whether the response variable is qualitative or quantitative. Again, I'd like you to try this on your own and then replay the video. Joliet Junior College decided to implement a course redesign of its developmental math program. Students enrolled in either a traditional lecture format course or a lab-based format course in which lectures and homework were done using video in MyMathLab. There were 1,100 students enrolled in the traditional lecture format and 500 enrolled in the lab-based format. Once the course ended, the researchers determined whether the student passed the course. The goal of the study was to determine whether the proportion of students who passed the lab-based format exceeded that of students who passed the lecture format. So first, is this independent or dependent? This is independent, right? If you pass or fail a course, it does not depend on, or shouldn't depend on which format you have, or on other students. And are we looking at a grade, or what are we looking at here? Right, here's the keyword. Determine whether the student passed the course. So we're looking at a pass or fail. We have a pass or fail, that's qualitative. Okay, so we're not looking at exact numbers here, we're just two outcomes, pass or fail. So when you think of qualitative, so you know you're on this side, we have two populations, or two population proportions, so we're down here. And we're independent, so we would use what we're going to learn today on this question. Do women tend to select a spouse who has an IQ higher than their own? To answer that question, researchers randomly selected 20 women and their husbands. They measured the IQ of each wife-husband team to determine whether there was a significant difference in IQ. Now think of matched pairs. We have a woman and then their husband would be picked. So they're matched together. So that means this is dependent. The wife-husband team is matched up. Okay, and then we're looking at IQ. IQ is given as a number, so that's quantitative. So we look at our overview sheet, we're on quantitative. We have two populations, so we'd have to use this information for the question once we get to that part. So just kind of showing you how to use the overview sheet.